gets it, what I'm trying to say to her. So,
Oh, that's funny.
but back to the show that seriously got fired that night. There's an infamous tweet that I've screenshotted, and I look at from time to time. It makes me laugh. My show was referred to as being hijacked, and you know, we talked a lot of things that were relevant to us. Little some news, some educational thing. I don't remember. I haven't listened to it, but it wasn't paranormal, and well, at that time in that place, that's what they wanted, and well, apparently, I wasn't what they wanted. So, yeah, 6 and 1/2 dozen the other.
Amazing.
So, it is what it is.
Well, it is what it is, but that's terrible that you would be fired for one show that didn't completely meet the format.
Well, there was other minor issues before that, but I guess that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, it is whatever.
I burn a lot of bridges. I'll just leave it at that.
I don't know. I can't imagine somebody letting that podcast go willingly. You do a good job.
Well, not only do I pretend to do a good job. I don't know how I actually do. I mean, everybody says it's good. I don't. Some nights I walk out of the studio just frustrated because it wasn't good in my book, and then the download numbers come in 2 weeks, and it's like, maybe it was better than I thought it was, but I still don't like it. And there's some nights that I think it's send it to the Radio Hall of Fame because it's solid gold, and it never goes as far as I think it should.
Right.
And
that's funny, but true.
But the other thing is, I don't think people. There's something to this too. If I'm giving away all the good secrets tonight. There's something to consistency of showing up and doing a show. Mm-hmm. What burns me, pet peeve number 2, I think it is for tonight. People that say on their show banner every Tuesday night, and then 2 Tuesdays a month they're not there.
Yeah.
And they're not supposed. It's not a. It's like, or are you every Tuesday a month, or are you whenever the hell you feel like showing up? And so I just quietly, you don't see every in any of my branding. You just see Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And unfortunately or fortunately, I've missed, I think it's 7 or 8, maybe it's 9. I don't know. It's still single digits. I know that much. Shows through 7 years.
Well,
and that's including doing shows on Christmas and New Year's and, my anniversary, as we just talked about. And,
right. That's pretty amazing. And I do agree, the consistency being key. I actually shouldn't have, but did a show the week after my dad died that weekend. I thought I had enough time in, from where he passed away to when my show was. And I had a friend who was opening a business, and I had committed to have her on to promote that. And that was a mistake. But unless I am traveling and absolutely know I'm not going to have service, I always do my show. Which is why I was freaking out when I wasn't going to be able to. It's an important thing.
And this is another variable between me and Kat. In all honesty, she's willing to take the show on the road, and I will not take my show on the road.
Yeah.
I'm probably one of the few people that won't. In all honesty. Just saying.
Well, that's okay. Because different people have things that they're comfortable with. And I did my show Halloween week last year. On Halloween, actually. I wonder why that's going to be leap year. But at the Key West Cemetery. And it was fantastic. I'll tell you what happened. It was spooky. And I was tongue-tied. And I want to know if you've ever had something like this happen when you were doing a show. But we have to go to a break. And we'll be right back. 3 minutes. Don't go away.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
And just like that, we're back with Jim Malliard, the host of the Malliard Report, one of the best podcasts, and probably the best podcast I've come across in all of my time of looking for good ones. So, welcome back. Oh, Jim.
Best live radio show.
That is live radio.
This just because there are a number of people out there who do quality and good pieced together podcasts, so that don't do live radio. So, anyways, apple, oranges. Never mind. I guess we can't compare.
Well, apples to zebras.
That's why you can say what you want to say. It's your show. Let me shut up.
But it is apples to zebras, and you and I learned that as you were trying to help me, and I'm like, but it doesn't work like that. And you're like, this will still work. So, I mean, seriously, where would I be without you? I would still be trying to find some methodology to get my voice across these, bandwidths to other people and get my guests to other people. I love
You probably would have broke your computer with a hammer. Just saying.
Yeah, I would. And, as it is, I'm not using the one that I intended to use for this. So, but yet, here we are, and it's still rolling, and I'm very excited.
Sometimes it's the best late. What's it? I often refer to people, George Patton, a good plan executed today, or violently executed today, is better than a perfect plan executed next week.
Yep.
And I often refer to people to that because we can get in our own way. We can wait until everything's just perfect, and we'll still figure out a way to screw it up.
Well, yes. So. And, it's really frustrating because I don't know. I appreciate you so much because the whole streaming thing, I had a stream. I didn't know what to do with it. There were so many things that when I decided, well, I'm just going to do this, I had no clue. And you saved me.
Pet peeve number, what, 3? I think we're at. I really need to write these down. There's a difference, and you're going to appreciate this. There's a difference between doing speaker, blog talk, whatever site you want to insert there, and doing it classic, old school, shoutcast, icecast way.
Right.
It's a major difference. And when people, oh yeah, I do live radio, and I'm like, where do you do it through? And they're like, speaker. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's live, but that's kind of built in their own interface, and it's really easy. And they're like, oh, what do you mean? And then I show them the bells and whistles that I have to go through.
Yep.
And I said the beauty of the bells and whistles is, at the end of the day, any point, 24/7, 365, somebody can click up there and listen to that. Mm-hmm. And just get it in the middle and just put it on while they're washing the dishes or driving to work or whatever in the world they want to do, and listen. And surprisingly, dumbfoundingly to me, the numbers of people who do that as opposed to download and a special episode and focus on that one particular episode have actually, for the first time in my show, started to even out, which is just dumbfounding to me because I have a hard time especially, again, show management. I have my own unique style that drives real traditional radio people stone cold batty. Because I introduced the guest once.
Right.
At the top of the show. If you missed the first 2 minutes of my show, you have no clue who I'm talking to.
Right. I have experienced that being just completely lost, and I had to go and find out who this person was I was listening to because they were doing a great job, and I wanted to know who they were. So I came unprepared, but I came late, which Tuesdays are a tough day for me, but it's well worth the effort. So, it was just like, oh, who is this?
And truthfully, as much as I don't introduce people, because of the internet, if you're listening at any point besides when I'm live, because I am extremely lazy about these things, it pops up. It's part of the metadata. You can see who's on the show with you.
Right.
Now, when I'm live, you just see a bunch of error messages, probably.
Oh, this was live, yeah. I was just like,
So there's that. But then if I'm live, you pop in the chat room, you find out who it is, and you sit and enjoy. So, anyways, not way behind the nerd scene there about metadata and all these other things.
Well, it took me forever to figure out how to find that. Isn't that silly?
But now that you know where it is, you're like, oh my, that was so ridiculous. It was right in front of me the whole time.
The whole time. So I have learned so much from you, and it's just fun and good. So thanks for that.
I found myself in places that people, aren't necessarily welcome to help, but I'll tell them, and if they listen to it, they listen to it. If not,